Welcome to this week's team call. I want to go over about getting organized, especially on Facebook, since that's where most of us do our work and we reach out to people mostly through Facebook. But before that, I want to go over some recognition and just announcements. Congrats to Erica because she is now our newest Emerald. Yay. So what that means is that she has opened up her business center and she has 2 coaches and she's now able to earn Team Cycle bonuses and she'll get free leads next month as well. So she'll get free customers from Beachbody. But other than that, the Team Cup is all in full swing because we are in February in the first week, and I hope you guys are all excited. Team Cup is one of the best things to move your business forward because not only are you pushing to move your business forward, you're helping to motivate the others on your team as well. And it's just like a team effort, everyone is moving their business forward. And the people who don't participate usually don't, make more money or move their business as much forward, and they're watching everyone else succeed. But it's awesome, and I'm very excited for this month because I can already tell, everyone, volume's out of the roof with everyone because everyone's, lining up people and everything else. I know I have people lined up, and it's just a matter of timing. So, also, if you haven't yet, make sure that you register or get on the wait list for Coach Summit or Putakana. Get on the wait list for both. You can decide later if you can't go or something comes up and you're not ready. But it doesn't hurt to get on the wait list because if you wait, then you're going to be way out there, and then who knows if you'll be able to get off of the wait list if you get the chance. But other than that, Success Club. Make sure that you're hitting Success Club if you're working this as a business every month, at least Success Club 5, for helping 3 people. If you're not sure what that is, by helping 3 people either with a challenge pack or Shakeology on Home Direct. And by doing that, you are going to move your business forward because of any future recurring orders. And on top of that, if you do that every month, it'll just keep compounding on itself, and it'll keep growing. Other than that, there's also challenge group that I'm going to be running starting on February the 15th, and it's about loving yourself, loving the skin that you're already in, and working towards those goals. Anyone can join as long as they are either using Shakeology, a Beachbody program, Beachbody on Demand, or the Performance Line. I don't care if they're only using one or the other, or if it's the free trial, but the reason I do this is because then they can qualify for the monthly prize that I give, and not only that, that's the best way that we can help someone because that's what we are experienced with. I've had groups in the past where, they aren't using one of those, and it was kind of like a free group, kind of like, oh, if you want to join, sure, for the motivation and support. But I came into a lot of people asking me questions in the group like, oh, should I do this or should I do that? But rather than that, and I was spending a lot of time answering those questions rather than them having a set plan to go with, like if they have a program, then they have that workout calendar and they know exactly what to do every day. And then the nutrition guide that they follow. So it's much better than me trying to, guide them in a sense, because then I'm spending a lot of time without really getting anywhere with that person. And they're not as invested in really wanting to invest in themselves and be committed to it. They would rather just me give them all this information and then go from there. But I found that groups where everyone's doing it, everyone's motivated to reach their goals more because everyone's doing the same thing, So if someone's kind of like the oddball and not doing it, then they're kind of left out, and it's just kind of awkward for them, and they end up not participating anyways. An open house. This is so awesome. I can't tell you. I participated in an open house to learn all about coaching. It's basically a sneak peek about what we do. I did back in December 2014, and that's when I got all of my questions answered, everything. And that's really when I realized, hearing the stories from other people, that they were not much different from me. And it's great for new coaches. If you're brand new and you don't have all the answers, that's okay. You don't have to know all of the answers. So if you want to, it will be starting on Monday, this coming Monday, and it will be all in the form of an event rather than a group. This is great because you can just invite them to this event. They click going, and then they get all the updates in the event, and the event will run all week, Monday through Friday. And we share stories, we share different various stories, whether it's weight loss or income or, top coach stories and things like that. We also, answer their questions. We have a Q&A on Thursday night, and they get a half hour to ask their best question to win a prize, which is awesome, and it gets everyone engaged. And I learn a lot from those too. So like people will ask a question and maybe I've never really thought about it, at least in the beginning. And then I go back through and read those as a new coach as well. And I learned a lot that way too, because of their questions that I didn't even think of. So it's a great way to learn yourself, but it takes the pressure off of you for knowing everything, and you can have other coaches, explain things or answer their questions without you having to answer a whole lot. And it's so easy to invite to because it's, commitment free. So the only requirement for them to be in the group is going to be them either watching the 18-minute coach webinar that Jessica has made, or actually Brian and Tisha are going to be hosting a live webinar on Sunday. I don't know exactly what time yet, but they're going to essentially be doing the same thing as the video. But it's going to be live, so anyone can hop on and they're going to get basically the same exact thing live. But either way, you can add people up until the Q&A on Thursday night, and you invite as many people as you want. So it's a great way to, plant those seeds with people and, just share what you're doing, really. And then from there, you follow up with them and ask them, did you get all of your questions answered? And then, what they thought about being a coach themselves, or if they're ready to get started. Everyone's different, so you can kind of tell like when you talk to them. But other than that, that's all for announcements. I know that was kind of lengthy, but how to get organized. Now I'm going to talk a little bit and then I'll share my screen because I want you to see through Facebook how I kind of organize, daily kind of thing, just so that I can keep track of people, I can keep track of my groups, and kind of what I do other than that. One thing I highly suggest, if you don't already, is have an email, specifically a Gmail account, and this will be good in the future. Gmail is good anyways for Google Docs. I know not everyone uses it, and you don't have to. It's whatever works best for you, really. So, but I like it because you can save things and it doesn't get lost. I even have the app downloaded on my phone. So if I'm out and about, I have those documents with me everywhere I go. And if I need to like copy and paste like a price or like go over a challenge pack or something like that, I can copy and paste that from my phone into the messenger and send it. And it makes life so much easier if I can't get to my computer at that time. Other than that, another thing that I use to track is I use Streak, but don't worry about Streak right now if you're brand new. That's more so when you're getting close to Diamond or you are Diamond, because you're going to be talking to more people. But right now, if you're new, stick with the power of threes. That's all you need to do. If you want to do more than just 3 a day, you can. But as long as you're doing power threes, you're doing what you need to. You can follow that revitalized checklist that I posted in the group as well. That's a great way, kind of just, someone had suggested in one of my other calls for that revitalized checklist, if you print it out and then laminate it, you can mark off through the day and then erase it every day rather than have to print it out every week or every day or whatever. So you can laminate it, and that way you can, use it over and over again, which I thought that was a really good idea too. And then I'll go over friends lists that I do on Facebook, group favorites and things. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen really quick. All right, so can you see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so I'm already in Fab and Fit, but I'll kind of go over what I do on a daily basis. So when I'm sending out friend requests, I send out, at least 3 a day. Sometimes I send more, but do not go over 10 a day because you may end up in Facebook jail because Facebook will see that and be like, you really don't know this person, or, you're sending a lot of friend requests. So I wouldn't suggest doing more than 10 a day. You only have to do 3 minimum. So, but when someone accepts my friend request, then what I do is I put them into, Power Threes or Streak, and I will also put them into what's called a friend list on Facebook. So what that is, if you're not very familiar, if you scroll down on the left of your computer, it says friends. Now I have close friends, which I never really mess with that, but you can create a list, and some of the lists have already been created by Facebook. Like, I didn't create all of these. This just kind of by like location and by where I've worked in the past. So I have different lists. Now, I don't really use all of these lists. I kind of did at the beginning, and it became overwhelming. So the only list that I would suggest is 2016 friends. It's kind of what I called it, and you can create this list. And if I go to that list, anyone I add in the year of 2016, all I do is type in their name. Like, I'll just type in Rachel, and I can, pull up whoever it is and then add them to this list. So why is that beneficial? So when I add that list to my favorites, it'll be over on the left-hand side of my screen. So when I scroll down under my groups, I have that list. When I click that list, then all those people that are on that list, I can go through and see their status updates through Facebook, and I can interact with my new friends. I can like and I can comment, and they're all right there. I know, silly post, but that way I can start building a relationship with them if I don't really know them beforehand, or, maybe I've heard their name before, but I haven't really connected with them. So I find that that's really easy to do. Anytime I have downtime and I'm just kind of scrolling through Facebook, I'll go through that list first, maybe for 10 minutes, and just kind of like anything that I find interest in, I'll like, or I'll comment and be like, oh my gosh, I love your shoes, or I love your hair, or, just something, a compliment to someone, because I only add girls really on my Facebook. So, it's very easy to just give a compliment like, oh my gosh, I love your picture, or whatever it is. So I'm building that relationship that way. And then group favorites, which is, let's see here. If I go to, say, Fab and Fit, or I go to a challenge group, I'll go to this month's challenge group, the first one. So being stronger than your excuses. It's really easy. You need to do this from your computer. You can do it from your phone, but I believe you can only do it the first time you go into the group. Like, after you've been added and you go into the group, your phone may say add to favorites or not now. You have to do it then, because I don't think it gives you that option later. But you go over to the right-hand screen and the 3 little dots, you click that, and it would say add to favorites. Since it's already a part of my favorites, it says remove from favorite. Another good tip is, if you're running the group or you're in a group that you're really participating in, notifications. You want it all posts. You'll get notifications for anytime someone posts in the group, or the admin of the group posts. If it's on highlights, you only get notifications on a post that's getting a lot of interaction. So if, like, that post is getting a ton of comments or a ton of likes, that's the only notification you're going to get. Now, if you're not like, for me, if someone's if I have a coach and they add someone that I'm not friends with on Facebook and they don't change this notification setting and I'm the one running the group, they're not going to get all my notifications unless they change it to all posts, because we're not friends on Facebook. You know how you get notifications when you're friends with someone on Facebook and they post in a garage sale group or something like that. So it's kind of the same thing. But other than that, or friends posts, like most of the time it defaults to highlights or friends posts unless you are running the group or you are friends with that person, or you can turn them off if it becomes too overwhelming. So like Dare to Dream, since it's so big, you can turn off those notifications if you want to, but it's up to you. And then let's see, my next thing is calendar or agenda. So what I do is I'll quit sharing my screen now. That's kind of all I do on Facebook. It's not a whole lot, but it does help, because in the future when you're talking to people like that, it's definitely helped me. Oh, I'll go over one more thing. On Facebook, your messages. Now I have a ton right now, so don't ignore that. But you can, you have to make sure that you're checking your messages daily, whether that's in the morning or before you go to bed. Now, recent, it says I have 18 that I have unread. So if I click the number in the parentheses, it'll move all of those people I have unread right here to where I can easily access those. Otherwise, they're kind of just in there, kind of mixed with the ones that I have already read or I've already replied to. Now, message requests, that is, you know, people that you're not friends with on Facebook, if they send you a message, it goes into either your message request folder or it goes into filtered, which that is a new option on Facebook, and I don't know exactly how a message gets put there, but if they're not friends with you, they either go into message request or filtered messages. And I've only ever had like one filtered message, and it was before they sent me a friend request. So that's the other thing. If you're trying to talk to someone you're not friends with on Facebook, it'll go into those other folders. So you want to try and be friends with them first, kind of. I mean, they will get a notification saying, oh, you have a message request, but not everyone has like a computer that they go to. Most of the time people are only on their phone. So, you know, keep that in mind when you're talking to people. A lot of people either don't have the Messenger downloaded on their phone, so they hardly check messages, or they just use their phone completely for Facebook. Some people don't have computers. So other than that, that was all for Facebook. The other thing would be a calendar or agenda to keep track of the people that you have lined up or people that you need to follow up with on certain dates. I like this one. I'm trying to think of what it's called. This one's from Nicole Miller, and it's a weekly and monthly planner. I got it for the year. I love it. It's kind of like long, but it's big. Like every day has a whole section that I like. And some of them you can get with like dates, like the times throughout the day. So you can like set times for like your calls and things like that you have lined up. But basically whenever I write someone down, I'm just like their name, whether or not they want to be a coach or just a customer, and then what they were interested in or what they plan on getting started with. Whether that was the 21-day fix, challenge pack, maybe Shakeology, and then maybe a note about it, like, you know, if someone's waiting for their taxes to come in, so it's not like a for sure date, I'll put like they're waiting on taxes or something, you know, something to remind me about like what I had talked to them about. And then the other thing for the month, I know I made a team calendar, which is kind of like what I do in my planner as well, just so I can keep track, but I'll write it for the month, and then I'll write those things for the day. So like anytime a group starts, I'll write it in there too. So of course I kind of have like a month going on. It's probably hard to see, but I'll do that, and I'll plan the month, like towards the last week of the month, I'll plan for the next month and what I'm going to be doing, just so, challenge groups are, I plan those about 2 months, or not 2 months, 2 weeks in advance. So anytime that I have a new challenge group starting and I want to start it, I will start inviting people 2 weeks out from that event, so they have time to get, everything that they need for the event, because it'll, for the group. So because it'll take about 5 to 7 business days for them to receive that in the mail. So I want to give them enough time, if they're interested, for that group to get everything, or maybe they need to wait until they get paid, whatever it may be. I, typically give about 2 weeks that I'll start inviting to that group. And then after that, I'm kind of done. And then I'll start inviting for the next group. So you always have something continually to invite to. And I plan on doing 2 groups a month from here on out for the rest of the year, which is a lot, I know, but I only started out doing 1 month, or 1 group a month, and that's helped me too. So you don't have to run more than 1. Don't overwhelm yourself. But, and you're always more than welcome to participate in my groups. But I will say, when you start getting, like when you have about 3 people, I would say that's when I would, start trying to run your own group for just a month. Try it out. There's copy and paste for everything. All you have to do is find the pictures that you want to use. Super simple and easy, and there's a ton to choose from. But let's see, email, I went over that. Oh, and then I'll go over this too. I listened to a call, and I really liked this call because it was talking about a funnel. So like Beachbody, this imaginary funnel. So with this, basically, you add people. So you have all these new friends, and then you have, people you invite to a free group. So you have these new friends, you're starting to build a relationship. So some people reply, some people don't. And then you go from there. You invite them to a free group. Some people participate, some people don't. And then you go from there. And then they join your monthly challenge group or whatever it is. Some people do, some people don't. So it kind of just keeps going down, and it kept going down after the monthly group, inviting to open house, and then coaching, and then your rock star coaches, and all of this stuff. So I was like, that is such a good representation, and just a good reminder that, not everyone is going to find value out of this or benefit from this, because it's not for everyone. So I thought that was a good representation. So that's why you invite a lot and you add a lot, and then whoever goes through that funnel and, finds, some people get it right away, some people don't. And then a lot of people who say no stalk my page, and they end up, coming later, and they're like, I watched you and I'm ready to get started now. It happens all the time. So I've had people who were, they said no to me, and then the whole next week they were liking every single post that I had posted, and I'm like, okay. So that was the other thing too. When you message someone on Facebook, or you comment or like on their things, due to the algorithm that Facebook has, they will see more of your posts through Facebook. So that's why you want to reach out to new people, because they're going to continue to see your posts through Facebook. When you don't talk to someone for so long, or you don't interact with their posts and their page, eventually Facebook sees it as, oh, you don't really care about seeing their posts on the page, so they just won't show you them. And I've had people where I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this post from so-and-so, and I'm like, am I still friends with them? And I'll go and I'll search their name, and I am. It's just I haven't interacted with them for a while or messaged them. So that's another thing to keep in mind too. But other than that, that was really it. Do you have any questions?
I have like a simple question.
Okay.
How do you search for like new friends on Facebook?
You can search in the search box. You can do friends of friends. Sometimes it comes up, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you have to try it a couple of times. But you can type in friends of friends, and it'll pull up, friends of your friends, basically. And they will be, they'll be mutual friends with you as well. But one other thing that I did really well at to get a lot of friends on Facebook is running a free group. If you're not ready to run a monthly group, that's fine. A free group is awesome and it's fun. You know, you can do, there's, 7-day groups, there's 15-day groups. And that's how I build, more friends and new friends to talk to, in a short amount of time. Other than that, I will just friend request people I'm mutual friends with. I do about 10 a day because not everyone's going to accept my friend request. And the free groups, what happens is you have, you add the people who are interested already, and then they add their friends and family, and then you can friend request them. And then you kind of just branch out that way. I've run one about once a month and then go from there. And then I'll message them after the group is over and I'll invite them to a monthly group. So that's kind of a way to do it if that's something you would be interested in, maybe doing a free group. But yeah.
Right now I'm just like stalking people and just asking random people. So that's
well, hey, that works too. You never know until you ask. And that's one of the biggest things. Like, I was so hesitant to ask some people, I'm like, she's going to say no. She's going to say no. And then it was like, it turned out they said yes. And I'm like, whew, I'm like, this is weird. But you never know until you ask. And the worst thing that's going to happen is they're going to say no. That's it, and it is what it is. Eventually they will maybe come back and ask you a question like, hey, I'm struggling with this area or this or that. And they'll come back to you. But, just say invite everyone. You're never going to know until you ask. And then if they say no, you can always follow up with them later or just leave them be. So, yeah.
thank you.
I think that was it. I can stop recording now. Do you guys have any other questions before I stop recording? Okay. All right.